The people who are introducing these bills, they don't care about women's sports. They're not investing in women's sports in the long term. What they do care about is perpetrating our myths and misunderstandings about trans people to increase the power and control of the government over all of our bodies. What they do is their intention absolutely is to scrutinize and target the bodies of trans young people and ultimately send a message to trans kids across South Dakota that they're not welcome in the state, and that they're not going to be able to have the opportunities in school and across their lives to participate that their cisgender peers may have. So all of these hearings around these bills about sports talk about trans girls in particular as some fundamental threat to cis people, and that is just absolutely not true. We're talking about people who are just trying to live their lives, who are fighting against their own internal demons, and then coming into society, coming into school, and then having every mechanism of power trying to limit their ability to live safely and to self-determine who they are. This is an escalation in targeting and consequences like nothing we've ever seen before, and it's really not hyperbolic to say that we know that kids will be so severely harmed and many will die if these bills that criminalize their healthcare pass. The animating rhetoric behind these bills is that it is inherently harmful to be trans, which is not true, and that the goal is to stop young people from being trans, which they can't do. But ultimately, the consequences are going to be that it's going to be harder for trans kids to survive. What we're seeing is an escalation of rhetoric and an escalation in the scope of these bills, which I think in part is a backlash to the Supreme Court's decision in Bostock, including LGBTQ people and federal civil rights protections, a backlash to the election of President Biden, and then this increasing desire to target trans people or anyone who falls outside the gender binary in any way. And what we're seeing now is this global movement to scrutinize the bodies of young people, and ultimately what I really think of as a eugenics movement to try to stop people from being trans. In order to counteract that, we have to mobilize together. We have to fight, for a notion of gender liberation that counteracts the impulse to cede to the government the ability to tell us who we are based on assumptions about the sex binary at the time of conception. A lot of these bills say that sex is determined at the time of conception based exclusively on someone's chromosomes. And that is not a safe or beneficial way for us to allow the state to define us. And that's true for everyone.